49, verses 1 to 27. To online with people through MP3 or YouTube channel on the earth, we'd like to suggest 3 questions. In verse 1, there was a man of Benjamin whose name was Kish, the son of Abiel, the son of Jeroboam, the son of Bechorath, the son of Aphiah, a Benjamite, a mighty man of power. What does it mean? And explain the background of Benjamites at that time. Question 2. In verse 5, when they had come to the land of Judah, Saul said to his servant who was with him, "Come, let us return, lest my father sees caring about the donkeys become worried about us. What could we see from here? And what can we learn from here?" Last question in verse 16. Tomorrow about this time I will send you a man from the land of Benjamin, and you shall anoint him commander of my people Israel. He may save my people from the hand of the Philistines, for I have looked upon my people, because their cry has come to me. What does it mean in the context, and what can we learn from here? Samuel was a judge in Israel. As he was getting up in years, his sons had been judging in the area of Beersheba. They were taking bribes, not being honest to their office. In Samuel, the first Samuel, chapter 3, verses 3 to 7. Their backgrounds here, 3, but his sons did not work in his way. They turned aside dishonest gain, took bribes, and perverted justice. Then all the elders of Israel gathered together and came to Samuel at Ramah and said to him, "Look, you are old. Your sons do not work in your ways. Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations." But the thing displeased Samuel when they said, "Give us a king to judge us." So Samuel prayed to the Lord, and the Lord said to Samuel, "Heed the voice of the people in all that they say to you, for they have not rejected you, but they have rejected me, that I should not reign over them." So basically, Samuel's sons that took bribes of people were prayed over Samuel's son who took over Samuel's position. Then people asked Samuel the king like other pagan nations. So Samuel was upset. So Samuel asked God. So God answered to listen to people's request. Actually, they are not against Samuel, but against God. That's the background. Then today, verse 1. There was a man of Benjamin whose name was Kish, the son of Abiel, the son of Jeroboam. So Kish was a tribe of Benjamin, the last son of the 12 sons of Jacob. In Genesis chapter 49, 27, 28. If you see Genesis 49, all 12 sons come up. But last son here, Benjamin is a ravenous wolf. That's Jacob's blessing, Benjamin descendants. In the morning he shall devour the prey, and at night he shall divide the spoil. All these are the 12 tribes of Israel, and this is what their father spoke to them. So 12 tribes is So Benjamin is 27. And he blessed them, 12 sons. He blessed each one according to his own blessing. So in that way, Jacob blessed 12 sons. Then, in the last time, 600 men survived. 600 Benjamites survived due to the internal strife caused by Benjamites who raped a Levite's concubine. That is Judges chapter 19, verse 29. When he entered, a Levite entered his house, he took a knife, laid hold of his concubine. So his concubine was killed by Benjamite group rapers, all right, and divided her into 12 pieces, limb by limb, and sent her throughout all the territory of Israel. So the other 11 tribes made the fighting against the Benjamin tribe. So chapter 20, verse 46 to 47, so Benjamin was completely defeated. So all who fell of Benjamin that day were 25,000 men who drew the sword. All these were men of valor. So that is a strong, the armies, but 600 men turned and fled toward the wilderness to Rimnon, and they stayed at the rock of Rimnon for 4 months. So the last step, only 600 men survived. So that is Benjamin. That's the background, question one answer. Then is the son of Bechorath, the son of Aphiah, a Benjamite, a mighty man of power. A mighty man of power in the context of meaning a wealthy man, proved by the lost donkeys in verse 3. Because then the donkeys as cattle were evidence of property ownership. So they lost donkeys, so here Kishi owned donkeys. That is a symbol for wealthy man. So in other words, a mighty man of power, meaning a wealthy man. Verse 2, and he had a choice. Choice is another prominent and handsome son whose name was Saul. So prominent is in this verse, the physical sense of prominent. We continue to read it here. There was not a more handsome person. So King James is handsome, goodly. So that is goodly, handsome. Saul, here among the children of Israel, from his soldier aboard, he was taller than any of the people. So choice meaning prominent, simply he is a tall guy. Saul is a tall guy. So here the rest of the people's head would be at his soldier height. So that in sense. So therefore, Saul is tall and handsome. Verse 3. Now the donkeys of Kishi, Saul's father, were lost. So lost donkeys or stray donkeys, a natural common event to cattle breeders. So some, the feeders of domestic animals, so certain domestic like a sheep, or a cow, lost. They try to find out in that way. So commonly, natural events, right there were lost. And Kish said to his son Saul, please take one of the servants with you and arise, go and look for donkeys. So my son Saul, take one servant and find those stray donkeys. Verse 4. So he passed through the mountains of Ephraim, in the land of Ephraimites. So, and through the land of Shalisha, they did not find them. Then they passed through the land of Shalim, and they were not there either. Then he passed through the land of the Benjamites, but they did not find them either. So they did not find the stray donkeys. Verse 5. Now the land of Benjamites, when they had come to the land of Jupher, Saul said to his servant who was with him, "Come, let us return." In other words, let us go back home, lest my father cease caring about donkeys and become worried about us. So here, question 2. Here we can see Saul's home is a good home, because Saul considered his father Kish and honored his father Kish rather than the animal or as material possession, rather than possessions, materials, the donkeys. So Ephesians chapter 6 verses 1 to 3, children, obey your parents in the Lord, for this is right. So this one is Saul, as this is a good example to honor parents. Honor your father, mother. So honor your father, which is the first commandment with promise, that it may be well with you. You may live long on earth. It will be well. So this is a good example for us, so to honor parents. So we see that. Then is verse 6, and said to him, "Look now, there is in the city a man of God." This man of God in the context Samuel, and he is an honorable man. All that he said surely comes to pass. So he's Samuel, whose home was Ramah in the land of Benjamites. He was a circuit judge like Jesus. 1 Samuel chapter 7, 6 to 17 here, 16 to 17. He went from year to year on a circuit to Bethel, Gilgal, Mitzvah. So 3 different ministry facilities. Judged Israel in all those places. But he always returned to Ramah, always. For his home was there. So home was there. There he judged Israel, and there he built an altar to the Lord. So headquarters is Ramah. Like Jesus' headquarters is the Capernaum, right? Ministry headquarters. Then Jesus the minister all around there. So in that kind of thing. All that he says surely comes to pass. That meaning all that he says becomes true. He can show us the way that we should go. So he can tell us where to find the stray donkeys. Then verse 7. Then Saul said to his servants, "But look, if we would go, what shall we bring the man?" So a present. What shall we bring the man? In other words, we bring the present or gift, honorarium. So a gift, a symbol, a token of honor. So that sense, not bribe. For the bread in our vessels is all gone, and there is no present to bring to the man of God. What do we have? So that is in good custom when you visit, just brings a token of honor or a token of love. Verse 8. And the servant answered Saul again, said, "Look, I have here at hand 1/4 of a shekel of a silver money. So 1/4 is right there. As the present, in other words, as the honorable present to Samuel here, I will give that to the man of God to tell us our way. Then we may ask, tell us the way where to find the straight donkeys. Verse 9, formerly in Israel, when a man went to inquire of God, he spoke thus, come, let us go to the seer, for he who is now called a prophet was formerly called a seer. So a prophet, meaning, is the person who delivers the gospel word. Very broader concept, is the general concept. But the seer is the person who reveals undiscovered thing. In New Testament time, we call a gift of the word of knowledge by the Spirit. So spiritual gift is the word of knowledge. For example, Peter's knowing Ananias and Sapphira's dishonest offerings. That is the case. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 8. Nobody knows that, only Spirit knows. Spirit is that, undiscovered thing revealed to Peter. So Peter knows that. And Sapphira, they said they made this old thing given to God, but they hid some portion of the proceeds over the land. So that is kind of case. That is the 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verse 8 says, for one is given the word of wisdom through the Spirit. Word of wisdom, applicable, understood, word of God. To another, the word of knowledge right here. The word of knowledge through the same Spirit. Book of Acts chapter 5, verse 1 to 3, Peter case. But a certain man named Ananias with Sapphira, his wife, sold a possession, and he kept back part of the proceeds. His wife also being aware of it. So husband and wife, accomplices, and brought a certain part and laid it at the apostles' feet. But Peter said, Ananias, why has Satan filled your heart to lie to the Holy Spirit? Keep back part of the price of the land for yourself. So know that. So then they were killed instantly. Kind of that happening. That is a good example. Is the word of knowledge, gift, a gift of the Spirit. Verse 10. Then Saul said to his servant, well said, come, let us go. So they went to the city where the man of God was. In other words, Ramah the city. So Samuel's home city. Verse 11. As they went up the hill to the city, Ramah, they met some young women going out to draw water, and said to them, is the seer here? And they answered them, said, yes, there he is. So he is at home, just ahead of you. Hurry now, for today he came to this city. He came home from the circuit ministries, because there is a sacrifice of the people today on the high places, altar place, to offer the sacrifice to God. As soon as you come into the city, you will surely find him before he goes up to the high place to eat, because the people will not eat until he comes, because he must bless the sacrifice. Afterward, those who are invited will eat. This is an excellent custom for believers after blessing the sacrifice given by God. So they eat, or after giving thanks to God for his provision. So bless God, bless the food, meaning bless the food given by God. So that is bless God. That's why we pray before putting, giving thanks to God. That is all the same meaning, kind of thing as. For example, 1 Corinthians chapter 9, verse 23, 24, the Last Supper too. For I received it from the Lord, disciple said, that which I also delivered to you, that the Lord Jesus, on the same night in which he was betrayed, took a bread. And when he had given thanks to whom? To God the Father, right? He broke it and said, take it, this is my body, which is broken for you. Do this in remembrance of me. That's a good example. Verse 14. So they went out to the city. As they were coming into the city, there was Samuel coming out towards them on his way up to the high place, the altar place, in order to offer the sacrifice to God. Verse 15. Now the Lord had told Samuel in his ear the day before Saul came to sing. So one day before Saul came, God told Samuel. So pre-told. Verse 16. Question 3. Tomorrow about this time, I will send you a man from the land of Benjamin, and you shall anoint him commander of my people Israel. So King James said captain of my people Israel. So God's work to anoint Saul as the king of Israel in the natural common events of the straight donkeys to cattle breeders is shown. So God's work as usually occurred as commonly natural ways. Obviously, supernatural ways too, but commonly. Because God's hands are in all situations. Commonly situations or supernatural situations, all situations. So often, God works in very natural ways, really supernatural way. Supernatural way too, but rarely. We should trust God always. We commit everything to God, even COVID-19 to God. We commit, COVID-19 even to God. Psalm chapter 37, verse 5 and 23. This one, David's psalm. Commit your way to the Lord. So in other words, let God handle, my way, everything. Trust also in Him, and He shall bring it to pass. So let God, let go, let God. So God will handle. Verse 23. The steps of a good man are ordained of the Lord, and He delights in His ways. That means good man follow the God's step. So ordained by God, or in other words, approved by God. So therefore, when a good man work in God's step, so God will be delighted. So God delights. So this one is we see. Then Proverbs chapter 3 and 5 says, trust in the Lord with all your heart. Lean not on your own understanding. Don't depend upon your understanding before your actions. So don't rely on. But rather than in all your ways acknowledge Him. All your ways. Around you, all your situations. Today is what's happening, like that. Even today, Talak Villa, the manager block not enter Talak Villa. Whatever situation, all is, acknowledge God. Then He shall direct your paths. Then is God, shall direct your paths. So in that way, verse 7:10, here, the last part 2, that He may save my people from the hand of Philistines, for I have looked upon my people, because their cry has come to me. So they cry, which meaning they ask the king. So God answers that one here. God worked. So God's will be done in the soul's stray donkey situation. So in that way, verse 17. So when Samuel saw Saul, the Lord said to him, "There he is." God continually just said, "He is the man over whom I spoke to you. The one shall reign over my people." Then Saul drew near to Samuel in the gate and said, "Please tell me, where is the seer's house?" Then verse 19, Samuel answered Saul and said, "I am the seer. Go up before me to the high place." So Samuel already knows Saul's problem over the stray donkeys. So, "For you shall eat with me today, and tomorrow I will let you go, and I will tell you all that is in your heart." That means already know that. All that is in your heart. So verse 20. "But as for your donkeys, now that were lost 3 days ago, do not be anxious about them. Do not worry about them, because they have been found." So the stray donkeys already went home. "And on whom is all the desire of Israel? Is it not on you and on all your father's house?" It doesn't mean the desire is to now make us a king to judge us like all the nations. That is the 1 Samuel chapter 8:5. So we already read that, is because they said, "Now make us a king to judge us like all the nations." That desire talking about that. So here, house is Kish's house, or Benjamites. Verse 21. "And Saul answered and said, Am I not a Benjamite? So we are the smallest of the tribes of Israel." It's true, because of the last son of Jacob's 12 sons, and of last time 600 men survived. So only 600 men survived last time, small tribe. "And my family of the least of all the families of the tribe of Benjamin." So that one is not sure. Even if Kish was a mighty man of power or a wealthy man in verse 1, but Saul's heart was so humble from beginning, like a Paul's heart. 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 8. "Then the last of all, he was seen by me also, as by one born out of due time." So this one out of the sun. Really, the Paul's ministry, a lot of zealous and a lot of the ministry doing abundantly. But as the Paul said, as by one born out of due time, like that. That's why Proverbs chapter 16:18, God's character here. "Pride goes before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall." So God resist the proud man. God give grace to the humble. That's why this one is they receives God's gift, so becomes the king. Verse 22. "Now Samuel took Saul and his servant and brought them into the hall, living room on the high place, and have them seated in the place of honor among those who were invited." So as the hall is, they were the high places. There were about 30 persons. Saul and his servants sat in the high places among about 30 invitees. 30 invitees. Then verse 23, and Samuel said to the cook, bring the portion which I gave you, over which I said to you, set it apart. Verse 24, so the cook took out the thigh with its upper part. So the best part, for example, chicken, the thigh part is the best part, like that. The best part of the sacrificed animal, over probably in peace offering. This is peace offering, right? The sacrifice then is left over, the sharing with people God, take kind of peace offering. Set it before Saul, and Samuel said, here it is. What was kept back, it was set apart for you. For until this time, it has kept for you, since I said I invited the people. So Saul ate with Samuel that day. So fellowship, by eating. So the eating together meaning one body of the God, kind of sense. Verse 25. When they had come down from the high place into the city, now is Samuel's home, Samuel spoke with Saul on the top of the house. Top of the house from the high place into the city, Ramah, toward Samuel's house now, on the top of the house. In Israel, most seasons, except the winter season, are very hot. And so the roof of the house is used as a living room or a sitting room. For example, the debris archaeologically discovered in the Cavernium city. In the Cavernium city, is a lot of houses there is roof. Another example, 2 Samuel chapter 11, verse 2 here. Then it happened one evening that David arose from his bed and walked on the roof of the king's house. And from the roof he saw a woman bathing, and the woman was very beautiful to behold. So the roof is very hard in cases that way. So verse 26, they arose early, and it was about the dawning of the day, in other words, about the sunrise, that Samuel called to Saul on the top of the house, saying, get up, that I may send you on your way. And Saul aroused. Both of them went outside, he and Samuel. So get up, and I may guide you. Verse 27, as they were going down to the outskirts of the city, went down to the end of the city, Ramah, Samuel said to Saul, tell your servants to go on ahead of us. And he went on, but you stand here while, that I may announce to you the word of God. So here, I may announce to you the word of God, which meaning anoint him, command over my people Israel, in verse 16. So, above. So also 1 Samuel chapter 10 verse 1 explaining, then Samuel took a flask of oil and poured it on his head and kissed him and said, is it not because the Lord has anointed you commander over his inheritance? So Lord anointed you. So which meaning Samuel is an instrument. We covered all three questions. Do you have any questions?